Okay, I appreciate you meeting with me here. Can you tell me, first off, I'm just trying to get to know this all the situation, what's going on here.
Well, it's a very complicated, and it's been going on for a long time situation with him.
Okay.
So it's hard just because he's been out of their lives for about 6 years. It's hard just to, say the last 6 months what he's done and think too much of it. But with this book thing, I told you he gave her the book, and I didn't know too much about it until people that had read part of it said you shouldn't have given that to her. I know Kelly Ryan, when she says, "Why didn't you turn it in?" I didn't know what was in it, and I didn't know that there's anything that could be done about
About it?
Until I talked to my attorney, and I said, "I'm concerned about this," and that was when we already had the meeting with Kelly Ryan set up for the kids. Just give it to her. And so I did, and she says, "Wow," and "Oh, okay."
Okay, so.
I didn't know there was anything to do. I mean, I knew definitely it was inappropriate and that kind of stuff. I don't know what other kind of history or stuff you want about the situation.
When, how did she get the book?
I was gone, grocery shopping or what I do in the evening. I came home, and she was in her room doing her homework. So I just asked her, what you doing? And she said, "Oh, I'm doing this for history." And I thought it was a little unusual because she had this big stack of paper, and it's about this thick. And she says, "We have to teach the class." And I said, "Really?" I said, "How long are you going to be teaching it for 2 months?" Or, made some kind of comment like that. And I sat down on the bed next to her, and she kind of goes, "You knew, Mom, didn't you?" She says, "This Dad told me to get this book or something." I don't remember exactly what she said, but somehow she got it from her dad.
Okay.
And I asked the kids, "Where's where I get that book?" or something. They told me that she downloaded it. She printed it off the computer, so that's it.
So did Dad tell her how to print it off the computer?
She's pretty smart, but I'm sure he told her where it was. And
was it on that website of his somehow?
I don't get on his websites just because they're so upsetting, so I don't know.
Okay. Did you ask her where she got it?
I knew enough that her dad had given it to her. I didn't ask any more than that.
What did she say about that? Specific? Do you remember anything specific that she said?
I remember not anything that she said. I remember the situation was she had this boy at school that she liked, and he asked her to go out. That's the word for going steady. Go out, and that was like the beginning of the day, and then by that night he's calling her and said, "Well, I don't really think it's fair to you. I'm busy, and we'd never see each other, so let's not go out." And she was a little bit upset about that. Mm-hmm. So I knew that was a thing, and I knew from before when I knew Chris, 6, 7 years ago, that he was writing a book like this about his girlfriends and how he played them. So I kind of knew the gist of the book. I didn't know all the details that were in it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
When did you find out about the details? Just recently?
Yeah, just recently.
How did you find out about them?
Chris has got a lot of people. He's got a lot of lawsuits going on. Chris was a polygamist, mm-hmm. and so the other wife, her and I have stayed good friends and kept the kids in close contact. Kept their relationships going, and so I knew from her, and I knew from another man that he was suing that contacted me and said, "I can't believe you gave this to a 15-year-old daughter, and it's just pornography." And
okay, who was that man?
His name is Mr. Llewellyn. I think it's John Llewellyn.
He's okay.
Yeah, he's
okay. And you don't have to go into detail as far as him. I'm just curious to know how that came about with you. I mean, when was that?
I'm trying to think when it's been a month or so ago. He's one that Chris is suing, and so when Chris sued me, he kind of contacted me and said, because it's all on Chris's website. He has all his law things on his website. So the man knew how to knew about me and knew that he was seeing me also. So
Okay.
that was kind of.
Okay, and have you seen any behavior changes in her? Or anything?
Well, you know, but she just sat out here. I just was, she's saying, boy, there are no toys for me. I says, well, Sariah, you know, they probably usually have younger kids come here. And they figure at your age, you don't need anything to entertain you. You can just sit still and be good. And she goes, no, they can't. I want a stripper.
She said she wants a stripper?
Yeah, she said, I want a stripper. I mean, you know, she has been saying more inappropriate things like that. She's a good girl, and, you know, she hasn't, before this, she had never kissed a boy. I mean, she liked boys, and they text a lot. Well, she never had a phone before her dad came. You know, normal teenage stuff, like a boy. But now she's talking about how she's going to lose her virginity. I hear her talking with her siblings about this. My husband has a son they're the same age.
Mm-hmm.
So when they come, they talk. He's got a girlfriend, they talk. And I just overheard that conversation. She wants to lose her virginity, and it's not my daughter, you know?
Yeah, when did she say that?
A month or two ago. And I heard her, as I was walking down the stairs, and they were down in the basement. I said, Sariah, what are you talking like that for? You know, she just climbs up and was a little embarrassed that her mother heard her, but she would never, you know, I never kissed her. I don't know why she hadn't, and I don't think that she has, but just, she's got a younger sister from another wife that her name's Rachel, and Sariah go on visits together. You know, they always say Rachel's going to get pregnant and this and that, and I know that, just inappropriate stuff. But I mean, she's 13 and her dad is asking her if she's pregnant. I mean, I know he has a very obviously open sexual whatever. He had 3 polygamous wives at one time, and has had several girlfriends. And
okay, how do you know her dad asks her those kind of things as far as the pregnant and all that? Did she tell you?
The pregnant thing I heard from the girl's mom. Because if Rachel's sick on a visit, Rachel says, or her mom, Rachel says, I'm not feeling good. Her dad's reaction is, oh, are you pregnant? Mm-hmm. You know, to him, he thinks it's funny and a joke, but it's very inappropriate, I think, as a mother. So I know that mother has told me those kind of things. Also, hearing Sariah talk just with her siblings, you know.
What does she talk about that's been...
Well, they openly will say stuff like that. Rachel's going to get pregnant. She's got this boyfriend, and, you know.
Mm-hmm. Did they tell you anything? The other siblings tell you anything about it?
Not really. It's just stuff I overhear as they talk.
Okay. All right. So the big concern that you have today with her, what's your main concern? As far as...
Well, this book is a concern. My really main concern is I feel her father is got some real mental issues.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, I mean, you know, we've been going to court back and forth, and I'm just trying to get it to be supervised visitation because I really feel he has some mental things that worry me about him having just free range with her.
Sure, absolutely. Now, when you say free range, what?
Well, just being able to take her on visits, you know. He thinks he can take her out of state and go wherever he wants, where my understanding of my attorney is the commissioner said no, he doesn't have any out-of-state visits. And before, about 7 years ago when he was on probation, he was told he couldn't leave state with the kids. Mm-hmm. He couldn't leave the state. Well, he had visitation with my children that weekend. I mean, court in the morning, picked up my kids like noon. He's on his way to Las Vegas with the children. I mean, he doesn't care what he's supposed to do or what he's not supposed to do.
Does he treat all his children the same?
Mhm.
Are they all treated pretty much the same,
Mhm.
including Sariah?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all.
And does he like to take them the same as far as each of them? Does he spend the same amount of time with them, I guess?
Well, the ones that he sees, yeah. There's been a hard time because my oldest son is too old to go with him. Has chosen not to go with him, so I mean, it's not court ordered to go with him. And then there's Caleb, who's 17, and Sariah, 15, and there's Ryan, who we're establishing paternity with, and he's 13. Well, at Christmas time, Chris saw Sariah, and Sariah got lots of money, about a couple $100, and she'd gotten an iPod, and she already had the cell phone. The other kids got nothing. You don't go with them, you don't get anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not so hard for the oldest one. He doesn't care about the money. It's not a deal with him. But the younger one, it was a little bit hard for him. And his dad would say, "Oh, Brian," would tell Sariah to tell him, "Oh, you'll get your money when you see me."
Right.
So he plays that kind of, I don't know, I think it's manipulation on the children.
How does Sariah feel about him, about Chris?
She thinks he's great because he's buying her all this stuff.
Okay.
I think right now it's a monetary thing. No, her daddy jokes a lot with him and is got a very charismatic personality. He started his own following. He's got all these people that follow him and up and leave their homes and and move to follow him. So he's got a very charismatic personality.
Mm-hmm.
And so as far as that goes, she doesn't see the danger. Yesterday she got in the mail that violence video DVD that
Mm-hmm. Stop the Violence,
Yeah.
the one that I put together.
is that you do that?
Yeah.
And so it came in the mail yesterday. I said, "I want to watch this with you." And I sat down with part of it. I was busy doing things, and so she watched it. I wanted her to see that he's got those
Mm-hmm.
controlling and that kind of personality. And I think the thing that's scariest for me is that I was an adult and he was able to manipulate me, take me away from my family, take me away from everybody, where he had total control over my life. I wore this long sleeved white dress and a shirt and a blue pinafore long thing. And I had all my babies at home. We lived in a school bus that he'd converted into a motorhome. And, whenever something he didn't like, we just pick up and move.
Mm-hmm.
And he had total control. I never had any money. And took me away from my family, told me my parents were not living the way that they should, and that we're following God.
Mm-hmm.
And for me as an adult to have that kind of, let him have that kind of control over me, it worries me for a young
Right.
girl that, he's her father. She trusts him
Mm-hmm.
just because that he is her father. So
Right.
anyway, I have.
So you think you might want to control her? the same
I
way?
know he wants to control her.
Okay.
He controls everybody that is around him.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do in this particular case, I'm going to talk to her for a little while, and then there's a point where I'm going to take a break, and the break is just so that I can get my thoughts together. So that particular time, I'm not going to talk to you about what's going on,
Mhm.
and then when we're through, then I'll let you know where we go from this point. Okay.
Okay.
But as for right now, I'll just get to know her a little bit and talk to her, and then I'll let you know.
If you can let me know my concern again with Wednesday's visit, she did not go.
Mhm.
I had set
She didn't
up
go
a
on Wednesday.
salon visit for her, and I just asked her, I says, "Well, do you want to go do your nails?" And she said yes. So she called her dad and said, "I'm going to get my nails done."
Mhm.
So she didn't go on that visit. He's supposed to have his weekend visit tonight, starting at 6:00.
Okay. Are you guys getting along, you and him?
No, we don't speak.
Okay. You don't speak to each other.
Mm-mm.
Is there any type of hostile situation between you two right
Yeah.
now? Is it more hostile than it has been?
Just because there's the court issue. I don't trust him. My first conversations with him were over the phone.
Mhm.
We went to court. The commissioner said, because he's recording all these conversations, and the commissioner says, you don't have to talk if he's recording it. He says, I wouldn't talk. So I'm on the phone. Calls, Chris, are you recording this? No, I'm not. Well, then later on in the court hearings, it comes in that those phone calls are going to be evidence. So my attorney gets the DVD with the phone calls transcribed, and there's all those conversations. No, I'm not recording this. And there it is right there. He's recording it. So I don't talk to him anymore. He doesn't call me. We basically go to court.
Okay. So.
Because he sees one way and I see a different way. And
how long has it been tense like this with the courts and commission?
About since July.
Okay.
Our first court, was August or something like that.
Okay. All right. Well, let me go talk to her now, and I'll bring her in here, and then we'll just go from there.
Okay.
That
So,
sound good?
do you have anything? Will you be able to tell me yes to let her go on this visit or no? Or no?
Right now, I don't know. I mean, after I'm done talking to her, I would not let her go on this visit because of whatever the court does. I would follow the rules of the court and just do that. There's no indication or no reason to believe, as far as I know, that he would be harmful to her. Is that right?
I think so.
Okay. If there's no reason to believe that she would be harmful or he would be harmful to her, there's no reason to not want to do that. I can understand your concern.
I don't think physically harmful, but I know he's mentally, emotionally.
Right.
Every time she comes home, it's like
Mm-hmm.
she thinks it's us and Sariah.
Right, and that's going to be a tough situation just as a teenager. That's tough to deal with
It's tough
teenagers.
enough, yeah.
So, and I can work with you as far as some of that stuff. In the future, part of what I do, and I can explain that to you later as far as what my position is. But as for right now, I just want to find out what's going on with her, and then we'll just do one thing at a time. So, but as for now, I'd follow whatever the court has you do.
I just know that Kelly Ryan just wanted him not to have visitation unless it was supervised, but we haven't been able to get through the courts to do that. So
yeah, you have just make sure you do everything through the court. If you have any concerns, the judges will make those decisions, and just make sure that the attorneys are all aware of the situations and they'll take care of that. So I would always advise, obviously, to follow whatever the court's decision is, and unless there's an immediate danger of some kind, I would follow all the rules. Sometimes it might not be as fun, or whatever, but I would just make sure that you're following the rules that are set forth by the court. It's always a safe bet. So, okay. All right, and then I'll talk to you more after this as far as where we're going to go. So, thank you. Okay. Alrighty. Let's get started here. First off, my name is Ben. Okay, my job is to talk to young people, young adults, work with kids and things like that. Okay. First off, it's when we get started here. It's important that you tell me things that are true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, things that are true. You know what the truth is.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just real important that you say. And if you don't understand something, like if I ask you a question and you're not really sure what the answer is, just tell me I don't understand, or clarify that with me, and then I can try to reword the question if necessary. Okay. Also, if I say something wrong, then correct me.
Okay.
You tell me what it is, and I'll do the same with you, as far as if I don't understand something, so that we're both on the same page here. Okay. Why don't you tell me a little bit about school, about what you do in school and your daily life and stuff like that? What kind of things do you do at school? Do fun things?
Fun? It's nothing really fun. I don't know. I take all honors classes, well, all that I can, like English, science, whatever. And I don't know. I don't really like school that much.
You don't like school that much? Well, you say you take English and science and stuff. What's your favorite class? I'm just trying to get to know you a little bit.
Math and science. I like math and science a lot.
Math and science? Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me about math. I can get math.
I have my strong points. I'm not that great right now what we're learning, and it's kind of making me frustrated, but...
Really? What part of it frustrates you?
Area, like remembering all the areas, formulas and stuff. And I don't get it, I guess. And I don't like my teacher because she doesn't explain it that well.
Really?
But
Tell me about your teacher in the math class.
she takes like, we correct assignments, then she goes through our new material.
Mm-hmm.
And like, if we go up to ask her for help, she just tells us, like, she does it and she doesn't explain it while she doing it. She
Mm-hmm.
just does it and she says there's the answer and you're like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Understandable.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about some of the other things at school.
I don't know. At lunch, I played frisbee with a whole bunch of people.
Is that fun?
Yeah, I prefer basketball, but frisbee's good.
Yeah. Well, tell me about basketball. You play basketball?
I played I'm only in ninth grade at the middle school, and I played sophomore at the high school this year
Mm-hmm.
on the high school team. And it was fun, but yeah, it
That's
was pretty
cool.
fun.
So, what middle school do you go to?
Mount Jordan
Mount Jordan.
and Sandy, yeah.
All right. So, are you a good basketball player?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. That's good. So, what other things do you like to do?
Scrapbook, a little bit.
Really, tell me about scrapbooking. I've seen a lot of people that are into scrapbooking, but I have never, myself, got into that. So, tell me about scrapbooking. Can you tell me just what is the con? I know that you. Well, tell me about what you do with scrapbooking.
Well, I usually don't think I'm that creative, so when I get a good idea, I'm like, oh yeah. And so I do that for scrapbooking. That's where usually all my creativity comes out.
Tell me about your scrapbook. Can you tell me about it?
I have a basketball scrapbook with all my years of basketball, and then my like family. It has trips I've been on and Halloween stuff.
Wow, basketball and trips, and Halloween. That's cool. Can you tell me about some of those things? Tell me about the trip you're on.
Well, one I remember that was big was when I was like 6. We went to Disneyland, 6 or 7 or something. And I have a couple pages on that. And then I went to Washington to see my aunt for Easter one year. That's another thing.
Was that a fun time?
I can't really remember, but yeah, I think so.
And how old were you when that happened?
6, I think.
6. Wow. You're how old right now?
15.
15. So it was a while.
Yeah.
That's a long ways. That's understandable. Well, tell me about friends you hang out with and stuff.
I only really go to one person's house that lives down the street a little bit. We usually go outside and play basketball with a couple of her neighborhood friends. And that's usually who I work with projects on if we can at school. And then I go over to her house to do projects also.
Oh, that's cool. So how often are you over at her house, would you say?
Once or twice at least a week, probably.
Once
I
or
go
twice.
pretty often.
Wow, that's cool. Do you guys play basketball together? Do you ever get hurt or anything like that?
No, I usually hurt people.
Do you? You usually hurt people playing basketball.
I get
That's cool.
aggressive.
Do you? So you get into it.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
competitive.
Wow, that's cool. So is that your best friend, basically? You play
Yeah,
against?
pretty much.
Okay. Do you have any other friends you hang out with?
Yeah, but not really. Most of my friends live in Draper, so I don't really go to their houses, but at school I have quite a few friends.
Do you? Tell me about
Okay.
other friends.
My other closest friend is Jasmine. I don't know. She just makes me laugh. She's not really. And I help her with stuff. In math, I help her a lot. And then just other friends, like who I play frisbee with. We just hang out.
Okay. Do you get along with your friends?
Yeah. Well, yeah, all my friends I do.
Yeah.
Other people who aren't my friends, not so much.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me about one of those situations.
Well, girls, I guess at this age, we just compare ourselves to each other, so it gets kind of, I don't know. I try not to start too much drama.
That's understandable. Well, tell me about the drama. Is there a lot of it?
Not really with me, because nobody really hates me directly. They hate me because I'm with one of my friends. Riley's kind of a slut, so they hate me because I'm friends with her. But
Riley's a slut.
yes.
Why is she a slut?
I don't know. I don't think she is. Well, yeah, I guess she makes out with a lot of people, but a lot of people are jealous of her, I guess, because she can get a lot of guys. So they think she's a slut and they just automatically hate her.
Oh, really? Who thinks she's a slut?
The other girls.
Other girls.
The girls I think are sluts.
So is that the big thing? That's
Yeah.
the big word everybody.
Yeah,
everybody uses?
sluts. And well, actually, it's more like preppy, which is my group of friends, and then slutty is more there.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah.
Well, what do you think about your friend that everybody calls a slut?
I don't know. Sometimes I worry because I know the guys that she likes are kind of horn dogs, I guess. So I just tell her to be careful.
Right.
And,
When you say be careful,
like, not do anything she knows she shouldn't or she doesn't want to do. Because I'm stronger than her right here. I can tell a boy no, and she kind of just gives in. So I tell her, if anybody does something to you, just tell me.
oh, cool.
I don't like people messing with her.
Yeah, that's nice. So you watch out for her.
Yeah.
That's nice of you. So you sound like a good friend. Okay. Well, why don't you tell me why you're here today?
Pretty sure, I'm not even really sure. I didn't even know I was getting checked out of school for this. But I know it has to do with me seeing my dad or my dad, something.
Okay.
I don't know.
Tell me about your dad.
Well, like, I'm seeing him and my mom doesn't like him. Him and my mom, I guess. I don't even know that much about them. They're fighting or whatever. I try not to, but they don't like each other, obviously. And I go see him and it kind of puts tension between us.
Okay. So what kind of tension? You mentioned tension.
Like, when I come home, my brothers don't really like my dad that much, and they're like, and they don't go see him. So when I come home, it's, I don't know, it's awkward for like that night, and then it's back normal usually. But
What's
just
awkward? What gets awkward? Tell me about awkward.
like, if we were to sit right here like this, me and my brothers would just be like looking and looking at each other. We wouldn't. I don't really care. It's just I would talk to them about anything. I would tell them anything. They just have to ask me.
Mm-hmm.
But
what do your parents do?
what do you mean, like occupation?
When it's awkward. You say
Oh.
when-
I don't know. These past few times, my mom hasn't even been there when I came home. She's out, I don't know, visiting people, I guess. And my brother was in the hospital for his appendix rupturing or whatever one time when I got home. But I don't know. They don't really do anything. Because usually I go straight to my room because I get home late when I come back from visits with my dad. So I take a shower, go to bed usually.
Okay. Tell me about visits with your dad.
We go to his trailer. We go to the gym a lot. Then we go to his trailer and we do pretty much anything.
What do you mean?
Like, I watch TV a lot, play games with my little sister,
Mm-hmm.
Rachel, and
How old's your little sister?
13, I think.
Oh, cool.
And that's, yeah. And we go, like, bowling sometimes. They're out to get ice cream, shopping.
Now, you mentioned trailer. Is he living in a trailer?
Yeah. Well, it's his girlfriend, yeah, is living with him.
Okay. Where is his trailer?
In Draper. I don't know the address. I'm not good with addresses, but it's in Draper.
Okay. Yeah, what do you think about his trailer?
I like it. It's nice. Yeah, he's got this huge couch and like I tell my friends, my dad lives in a trailer and works at Walmart. They're like, ew, but his trailer doesn't stink like some of them do, like dogs and stuff. It's nicer.
Is it?
Yeah, I
That's
like
cool. That's nice. So it doesn't stink. That's always good.
it. Yeah.
Definitely don't like
And
things
it's
that are
clean.
stinky.
Yeah, that's cool. How often do you visit your dad?
Right now, every Wednesday and every other weekend.
Okay. Um, okay. Do you have any idea of why you're here though, as far as what I would want to talk to you?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay.
I just know I have a lawyer or something, and I guess she said to come talk to you. I don't know.
Okay, so you have a lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you have a lawyer for?
'Cause the commissioner, someone sent it. Because I don't know. 'Cause I guess I'm getting emotionally abused.
Emotionally abused?
Yeah.
Tell me about being emotionally abused.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if I am, but
Can you,
because I don't know what it is. Like, I've never seen someone be emotionally abused, so I don't know if I'm getting emotionally abused.
okay. Can you tell me everything about emotional abuse?
Like the definition or how I.
How you think of it?
I think it's like when people say things about you or someone else you love and it hurts you. I don't know. Makes you feel different. And in my situation, that's just happened once, a big time. Not really. Like, my aunt said something about my dad that was rude. So,
Tell me about that.
she pulled me out on the deck and just started saying all this crap like, you can't if you keep seeing your dad, I don't want anything to do with you. You can't come to Florida because she's taking my family on a Florida trip. And you can't come to my daughter's wedding, all that. It's hard to talk about, so.
It's understandable. Understandable. Can you tell me can you tell me about what was said? And I know that this is hard.
She was just like rude. She just pretty much said she doesn't want anything to do with me. So I don't really want anything to do with her either.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry about that.
It's fun.
So tell me about your siblings, your brothers and sisters.
I have a lot.
You know a lot.
Yeah. I just live with my 3 brothers. One's younger and 2 are older. But then there's my mom's husband right now who has 4 kids. And then my 2 sisters I see at my dad's house. One's the 13 and one's 20 something. I'm not sure. I like them all. Pretty much the same.
Okay. Tell me about your dad.
My stepdad or my dad?
Tell me about your real dad.
Oh.
Hang on just 1 second.
Okay.
Officer Derek. Okay. Yep, I'll be finished with what I'm doing here in a little bit, and then I'll talk to you in a little while. Okay, I apologize.
It's right. Well, I don't know that much about my dad. He works at Walmart, and
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much. And I know he's suing a lot of people, but not like I agree with all that. But I don't really care about that.
Okay. I heard something about a book. Your
Yeah.
dad's book. Can you tell me about that?
Well, I like teenage drama. I broke up with my boyfriend, and so I was like all just like stressed and stuff. So my dad saw what's wrong, and I told him, and so I was like, I just wish I knew how guys thought, or like I could figure guys out, which is impossible. But so he's all, well, I have this book, The Diary of a Player, and I was like, oh, I want to read it, and I didn't really know anything about it except he wrote it for like a college class.
Mm-hmm.
And so he sent me a copy of it, and I read it, and it was like, it was pretty gross, but like, I don't know, I didn't really think, while I was reading it, I didn't think of my dad writing it. I kind of skipped over if it got like intimate. I don't know if that's the word, but if it got too into details and stuff, I just skipped a little bit, and I don't know. The main purpose was I wanted to see how guys thought.
Sure. When you tell me it was gross, what do you mean?
Like, it talked about relationships, like how it got really detailed in how things like start, like how sex starts and stuff. How the guy started, it was some character started having sex with some girl. I don't know. It was a couple like that, and it just was like the guy was supposed to be a player, and how he picked up girls and stuff. It said stuff about that.
Okay. And what did you think about
Uh, I don't know. Like I said, it was kind of gross, so I just skipped over it. But like now, I don't even think about it. I haven't referred one guy to that book, and I don't know. I guess that's for older guys, because right now I haven't really thought about that book at all.
that? Okay. Can you tell me about what it said that was gross?
I guess.
You can be specific.
It's-
It's important that you be specific.
Okay, well, like, one thing I remember is where the guy was taking a shower, and it told about how he was like, where he would move the soap, how he would like move it and wash his penis and stuff, and the dry cum off of it. And like, that's the part I skipped a lot of. And then it talked about, another one was where he was like feeling the girl's erected nipples or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Those were the two grossest parts that I remember.
Okay. Did you tell anybody about the book?
No.
No.
Well, that guardian ad litem person,
Did you?
told her about it.
When did you tell her?
Actually, she asked me about it because I guess she read it, but it was last time I met with her. Can't remember, a couple weeks ago.
Okay. And did you tell any of your friends or anything?
Mm-mm.
Nobody?
Mm-mm.
Okay. And when you say at the beginning that your dad, let's see, he sent you a copy of the book.
Mm-hmm.
How did he send you a copy of the book?
Internet. Yeah, he attached it to like an email,
Mhm.
and I just opened the attachment.
Okay. If I wanted to read this book, how could I get a copy?
My mom, I guess. She took the copy. I was going to give it to my attorney, but I guess my mom had it, so my mom gave her a copy, and I guess you can get it from her.
Okay, how did your mom get it?
She searched through my drawers.
To your drawers? Okay,
Yeah.
so it was in your drawer?
Yeah.
So how did, okay, so he emailed it to you, and how did you get it from there to your drawer?
I just printed it. Like, I'd opened the attachment, then I copied and pasted it to Word or whatever, and then I just printed it off.
Okay. And what were you going to do with the book?
Read it.
How much of it have you read?
I read all of it.
All of it?
Yeah, it was a while ago that I read it.
When you say a while ago, how long?
Like, seemed December or January. It was when this first kind of started. All this, when my dad first came to Utah and stuff.
Okay. Do you talk to your dad about the book?
No.
Okay. Has he ever told you anything about the book?
He just said that he was taking a some PE class, and he didn't have time to take it, so he went to the teacher and asked, how can I get this grade for it? And she said, well, I know you're a good writer, so write a book about human minds or whatever. So that's what he chose, is how guys are players. That's all he told me. He didn't tell me really. He said it gets kind of intense, and like that he wasn't the character in there. He made sure, he's like, I just wrote this. I didn't do any of those things in there.
When did he tell you that?
Before he gave me the book.
Okay. Can you tell me about that situation, like what he said specifically, whatever you can recall?
Pretty much what I just said, and then because I told him I wanted to read it, and he said, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yeah," because I guess I didn't know it would have been gross, and he told me it was gonna be some parts could get kind of nasty, and he said you might want to wait till you're older, and I was like, no, I was really a mess about the whole boyfriend thing, so. But now, if I would have known, like if I went back, I would have waited a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
But he just gave it to me because I wanted it, I guess.
Why would you have waited?
Because I didn't. Some of those things are kind of nasty, and I don't want to know that boys think about that on me, especially because, yeah, you know.
Mm-hmm. Understandable. Okay. And have you ever talked to another boy about this?
Mm-mm. I haven't talked to anyone. Because once I read it, I was like, oh, that didn't really help me with my situation, so I just put it in my drawer, and I didn't really think about it. I didn't tell anyone about it.
Okay.
But my mom caught me reading it, and she knew I was reading it, and she just let me read it. And, yeah. I guess she read, like, a page of it, and she said it was sick, so she threw it away or something, but.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to tell me about that, about the book?
Everyone says it's like a big deal, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. But I guess, I don't know, I'm only 15. I guess it could be a big deal. But I really don't think about it.
Okay, everyone said it's a big deal. When you say everyone, what do you mean everyone?
Like, my guardian ad litem told me it's a crime because I guess it's like porn or something. And my mom just told me it was a bad book. I shouldn't have read it. That's pretty much it.
Okay, do you read it very often?
No, I just read it once and it was pointless, so I just put it in my drawer.
Okay, understandable. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to step out for a minute, take a break, okay?
Okay.
Kind of go over my notes here, and then I'll be right back. Okay, you going to be okay?
Yeah.
Okay, be right back. just about out here. Okay, let's see. Do you think there's any way I could get a copy of that? Can you email that to me?
I don't know how I can besides asking him just because I don't have the email anymore.
You don't have the email anymore?
I can have my dad send it to me again and then send it
No,
to you.
well, you don't have to worry about that. I just, what did you do with the email?
Threw it away.
You threw it away?
Yeah.
Would it still be in your trash? In your email file?
I don't know. I don't like empty my trash. I don't know how that stuff works.
Well, there's a place that you can go into your trash,
Mm-hmm.
and you can even ask your mom to help you. You just go into the trash and just go down and see if you can find it.
Okay.
Because you say it was about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it probably would be in your trash.
Okay.
If you figure out how to do that, just have somebody help you get into the trash portion of it. Okay.
Okay.
And then would you be willing to send that to me? You can click back in it and send it to me.
Yeah.
I'll give you my email address. Will that work?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you, has anything like this ever happened before? With your dad?
Mm-mm.
Has your,
He's never he was in California for years, so he never really came back. He did once, and Caleb went, my next oldest, after me. He went with him, and I didn't, because I was scared of him at that time. And so when I was in 7th grade, so 2 years ago, he came, but nothing big like this, because he wasn't living in Utah. But now he's living, and he knows I want to see him, and I want to see him mostly because I just want to figure out both ends of where I came from,
Right.
So I'm just trying to get to know him a little better.
Okay. Has you ever sent anything sexually like this before?
Mm-mm.
Okay. This is.
He hasn't even had my email till we started having visits. When we had our first visit, he asked for our emails and I gave it to him.
Okay. All right. And how long ago was it that he emailed you the book? When was that? Do you remember?
It was a while ago. That's why I can't remember at all.
When you say a while, about how long?
Months.
Months.
Mm-hmm.
Several. Okay. Did you because your best friend, you mentioned your best friend,
Mm-hmm.
and did you show her this book at all?
Mm-mm. I didn't show anyone.
You didn't?
Not even my brothers. I didn't show anyone.
Okay, you didn't show anybody.
Mm-mm.
No portion of it.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Have you repeated anything in the book with anybody just by talking about it?
All I say is, guys just want one thing from me right now. And I knew that way before the book.
Okay.
So, that's all I say.
Let's see. Do you know if your dad has any other books?
Yeah, but I think they're they're about religion, I guess. I don't know. But I don't want to read. I'm done with his books.
Okay, anything other sexual? Anything in sexual?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, have there been anything that you've seen at his trailer other than this that could be sexual related?
No.
Okay.
Besides his bedroom bed and his girlfriend.
Okay. Sounds good to me. All right. Well, what I'm going to do is let's go out here and we'll talk to your mom. And I'll just get, from this particular point is I will contact your mom and talk to her and let's go from here. And I'll explain what this new program is that I'm working with.
Okay.
And I work with children or young adults in your case, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll go from here. So, anything else you wanted to tell me?
Well, it's not really important, but my brother, when my dad's suing my mom right now, I guess, and when my brother first found out about that, well, me and him both found out, and it pissed us both off.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to go talk to my dad, and I was like, why are you suing mom? And Caleb wouldn't do that. So Caleb just stopped seeing him from there, my dad. And since I still saw him, I went to talk, and I, got my dad's side, and I got my mom's side. So I kind of, I still go see my dad, and Caleb started calling me all these names. But now it's better. after he talked to the guardian lied him, and she kind of said you don't get to treat your sister differently because she's seeing your dad. He stopped. He's really nice. He's back to like normal, I guess. Treats me the same as before now. But he just called me, like, he said I was putting out to my dad and, like, that I'm a slut and all this stuff.
What do you mean putting out?
Like, having sex with him.
You-
That's what Caleb thinks.
Okay, how old is Caleb?
I think he turned 17 in January.
And Caleb's your brother?
Yes.
Okay. Why would Caleb think that?
Because he hates my dad, I don't know. I wish he would keep seeing my dad with me so he wouldn't make it awkward for just me, but...
Why would Caleb think that? I mean, where would that come from?
I don't know. Because I'm like the least sluttiest girl ever. And he knows that. But when he gets going, he can, I don't know, you can ask him if he just, I don't know where he got it from.
Has he ever mentioned that?
Mm-hmm. That was the first time because I can't remember what got us on that subject. Oh, because I think it was a Wednesday and I was going to see my dad.
Mm-hmm.
And he just said, oh, you going to see that biatch today? And I was like, yeah. And he just says all this stuff. And I don't like people to talk trash on my dad when I'm at home. And when I'm at my dad's trailer, I don't let people talk trash on my mom. So I back up both of them. And with Caleb, I backed up my dad. And he was like, oh, just because you're putting out to him. And stuff like that. So.
Okay, do you think he meant that?
I think he was just mad. He says that stuff to me all the time about boys that I'm with and everything. But
Okay, so that's something he says regularly when he's angry.
yeah, when he's angry.
Okay. So you believe that he was sincere?
No, but it still kind of hurt. Like, it was still kind of, ow. That's...
Absolutely.
But I don't think he meant anything. Because I'm the same way. When I get mad, I say stuff like that I don't mean.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he meant it.
Well, okay. I'm going to leave my business information with your mom. And if you have any questions for me, feel free to contact me. Okay? Do you have any questions for me right now?
Besides, am I here because I read that book?
You're here, yeah. I just wanted to ask you a few questions about the book.
Okay.
Along with get to know you a little bit. So, and now I can say I know you a little bit. So it's kind of nice. You seem like a normal young girl to me. So that's good. Okay? We'll just head out here and then I'll ask your mom if you as well.